Hello there, and welcome to episode 38 of Ilum Radio. We are your hosts, David Beard Menace, and with me always is my good pal and cosplayer extraordinaire, Millie. How you doing tonight, Millie?
Still sad about Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get something this weekend at Celebration. This weekend.
That's right. So, oh my God, yeah. I know we talked about it just yesterday, but yes, this is like the week of Celebration. Holy shit! Like
it is. Pretty wild.
Like
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get a season 3 announcement. 100%. There's no way they coincidentally ended Bad Batch a week before Celebration. Like, no way.
Either at very least, yes, you're right. A mention of season 3. What Millie and I have said in our previous episode that we posted last night that you guys should go watch, episode 37, talking about the last episode of Bad Batch, is somehow a trailer for next season. That's probably a bit far off, but who knows? You know, I mean, they could have been working on some parts of it. You know, the way it ended, but. Yeah, the eve of Celebration. So if you guys are going to Celebration and you're watching this podcast, let us know how it is if you are there across the pond over in England and checking it out. And, you know,
I don't remember if there's a Mando panel at Celebration. I'm pretty sure something related to Mando is a thing. I need to double check that. But I know for certain there's a Bad Batch panel that weekend. That's important.
And possibly, hopefully, maybe a hidden Daisy Ridley somewhere. Maybe a hidden John Boyega somewhere.
I mean, if it doesn't happen this year, there's always the 10th anniversary of TFA.
Oh, that'd be a good time to announce a new movie, possibly.
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
Yeah, the next Celebration.
2025. Which would be kind of fun to go to. Hopefully it's somewhere close.
Also, I think that's also like the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith in 2005.
Is it? Hang on.
2005? Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like 20 years.
Of the Sith. Yeah. Oh.
2 anniversaries.
Wow. So yeah, tonight we are talking about Chapter 21, The Pirate of the Mandalorian, Chapter 21, The Pirate. But
yes,
as you can see, Millie is shaking with excitement. Why are you shaking with excitement, Millie?
Because right off the bat, before we were even introduced to... Well, okay, can we just go in order? Because I feel like it'll make a lot of sense in context, I guess.
So Navarro gets attacked by the
Pirates.
Pirate King, Goran Shard, the swamp thing looking guy.
Yes.
And Grief Karga, you know, like a G, gets his gat, puts it on. He's like, I'm gonna go defend my people, and he sends like a help me Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope type of message out there.
Literally though.
Yeah, literally. And
he sends it to the New Republic.
And arrives to Adelphi, a New Republic outpost. Yeah, a New Republic outpost. And who do we meet at this New Republic outpost?
Wait, Adelphi?
Yeah, at the
same Adelphi that showed up in Andor?
Let's find out, actually.
Because that sounds very familiar. So I'm thinking Adelphi Garrison was like mentioned in Andor. Is that the same Adelphi?
It doesn't. Maybe. Hang on. Adelphi was a terrestrial planet that hosted an outpost of the New Republic, where the New Republic pilot Captain Carson Teva was stationed. Teva was part of the Adelphi Rangers, a squadron that shared its name with the planet. The planet was located a long way from Coruscant. In 9 ABY, the Mandalorian bounty hunter Din Djarin declined to reveal the identity of his starship, the Razor Crest, to Teva and his wingmate, Trapper Wolf, who were searching the Outer Rim for holdouts of the Galactic Empire. Teva requested that Djarin follow them to the outpost of Adelphi. However, after Djarin transmitted the Razor Crest signal, the pilots determined the vessel had been utilized in a prisoner breakout aboard a New Republic correctional transport, Boston 5, and Djarin attempted to escape their pursuit.
Okay.
but nothing about Andor. But, you know, they're stationed there. Now we know. Our Carson Teva, who's like the hero of this, but I know you want to say it. Why are you excited? What do we get off the bat?
So right after he gets the transition from Grief Karga, we see this New Republic pilot that is Zeb. And when he walked on screen, I was like, there's no way that's Zeb. And then when he started speaking, I was like, that sounds like Steve Bloom. That is 1,000% Zeb.
And it is absolutely Steve Bloom.
And they confirmed it, and it was confirmed in the credits also.
He looks good. He looks really damn good.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
holy moly.
Like, holy shit, he looks good. Like, the hair. So...
And Steve Bloom did mocap for that. Mocap. That's insane.
I mean, I could tell by the facial features. Yeah. Like, he looks...
And now I want to see the behind the scenes of that. Like, is the suit real? Is any of that real? Like, is it like half real, half CG? Like, I'm assuming it's the latter.
I'm guessing they did with him what they did with Thanos and like the Avengers, where they had like Steve Bloom probably wearing a Zeb head.
Yeah. I mean, he had to have been on stilts also, but then again, I don't know.
Like, I was always worried
guess,
about how they would make not just Zeb, but like his species look in live action.
Yeah.
And
I mean, in Fallen Order, we kind of got an idea of what they might look like.
True, that's true. I forgot about that.
Live action, because Fallen Order, like Jared T'Pol's, like, those who don't know the game very well, he is also a Lasat. He was Cal Kestis's Jedi Master.
Yep.
And he was a Padawan before Order 66, like right before Order 66, and he did get a good look at what Azat Lasad might look like in live action in Jedi Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're seeing Zeb here, that's like progression. Like,
yeah,
good progression here.
My wife,
which is a good sign, because I'm now hoping we'll see him in the Ahsoka series.
Yes. Like, we know we're getting Sabine. I mean, this right here.
There's no way they animated him this much for like a cameo.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
I agree. They could, because here's the thing about this scene. I know we're getting off topic, but not really. That could have been anybody. Anyone.
That could have been Trapper Wolf for all we know.
Yeah.
That could have been Dave Filoni, but he was sitting literally right across from him.
Oh, I forgot to grab that image. Yeah.
Him and Deborah Chow and the other director, I'm blanking on the name of him. But Trapper Wolf was right across from the table. Like, Trapper Wolf could have easily been... Like, Dave Filoni could have been the cameo, but no, Dave Filoni chose Zeb.
Yep. And Dave Filoni was wearing his hat in the scene.
He was wearing his hat. It's canon.
Yep. But yeah, that could have been anybody. Any random character. Anyone could have said those lines. Oh, I had all hope for Navarro. Like, could have been anyone. But they chose Zeb for a reason. What are you doing to us, Filoni?
If you think back to Season 3, Episode 1, the freaking Purgles. Come on, they're teasing Ahsoka this hard now. Like, Zeb is gonna show up in the Ahsoka series now. Like,
you're right.
And also, we may or may not get Sabine because of what we'll discuss later on.
Yes. I had that thought too when they were mentioning at the end when the armorer said it. But yeah, we got Zeb. He looks good. My wife thought actually it was kind of like a suit, kind of like Chewbacca, because she said it looked really, really real. I'm like, no, that's CG. Yeah. That is all. Like, look at the hair. I wish I could zoom in. But the hair, on his arm looks good.
We won't know until we see behind the scenes set photos and footage of Steve Bloom on set. Mm-hmm. Because it is confirmed he did mocap for this, so some capacity.
Mm-hmm. But he looks good. I like the way he looked. And Teva, is...
A local Rebel Legion friend of mine is super stoked about this costume now and is immediately starting to make that, because he has been wanting to finish Zeb for years but could never figure out how to do the freaking costume because it's an animated Lasat and it looks difficult. But now this exists. Like, it's too perfect. Like, he can finally do a Zeb now because he finally understands like how it will translate into action. Which is insane, and I love it. And I love that the suit is like the pilot outfit is a combination of a Resistance era like pilot suit in like the blue squadron.
Yeah. It looks cool. He looks like we think he's supposed to look, and he has like a mixture, like you said, like Blue Squadron and like Old Resistance. So it's good.
Well, all of them are like a mixture of old and new pilot.
Yeah.
If you look at the background characters, it was really cool to see as a fan of the Resistance costumes. As someone who actually cosplays a Resistance officer, I was hoping we'd see a mixture of like, also like old school like officers and Resistance officers. I'm sure we'll see a little more of that in the future, but I guess for now we have the pilots.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost a decade after like the events of like Return of the Jedi.
Decade.
So
a couple years, yeah. Because Luke doesn't look that much older than he does.
So it's about 9 years after Return of the Jedi, but about 11 years before The Force Awakens, give or take. That means Rey's probably running around somewhere.
I mean, Dathan... Wait, we discussed this. Dathan was born, like, earlier. And met his wife at some point. And Snoke is already around.
Oh, that's right. He's not even a big player yet. It's like 90... Yeah, he's not even, like, mentioned at all. He's not a thing.
He was literally born around the time of the Bad Batch.
Who,
Around the time.
Yeah.
Before, and then Dathan was born, I think, a few years after the Bad Batch, season 2.
Okay.
We talked about this in the Bad Batch episode.
We did. We like to the nth degree.
About cloning.
So let's just... So I love how Captain Teva, like, even though he's, like, outnumbered, he's like, we need to help Navarro. They're not part of the Republic, the New Republic, but we have to help them. They're a good planet. They're a good people. And we meet Tim Meadows, which I was not expecting.
See, I saw people freak out over him, but not Zeb. Which goes to show the general audience's, like,
exactly.
perception of Rebels.
Exactly, because... Well, no, I don't even think it's perception of Rebels. It's...
Not familiar with the show, I guess. I don't know.
It's either not familiar with the show, because you gotta remember, like, the most of the people who are watching The Mandalorian became Star Wars fans because of The Mandalorian. So
Correct.
They may not have...
I do know people like that.
Yep, and they may not have seen other Star Wars media, which is fine. That's the whole point of Star Wars. Get into it wherever you fall. And I saw a few Facebook statuses freaking out about Zeb, not because they thought it was Zeb, because they were like, is that Zeb? Is that not Zeb? Who was that? Did anyone look at the... Should I look at the... You know what I mean? Like, it didn't... Yeah. People really started freaking out about it until, like, the next day. Me personally, I started seeing more people freak out about Zeb. But you're right. The majority of people were flipping out about Tim Meadows being in it. And...
Because he was former SNL player, like, actor.
And they picked...
Who I didn't know. I mean, he did look familiar to me, but it didn't cross my mind who he was.
Right.
So.
And I feel like they picked, like, the right person for that role. Like, if anything's going to be stuck in bureaucracy red tape, it's going to be Tim Meadows for some reason. Like, I see, like, him being the perfect, like, just, like, oh, we like to help, but we can't, we don't have resources. I can probably get you some resources in 6 months. Like, he is that type of guy. Not saying the actor is, but, like, his character came off really well as that. And I like how... What are your thoughts on Elia Kane being in there, in that room? Kind of like...
I was taken off guard because I was still shocked over Zeb. Like, that whole scene after Zeb, I was like, oh my god, it's Zeb, oh my god, it's Zeb, oh my god, what? And then I was like not even paying attention.
Fair.
Like I was still shocked over Zeb. Like I was like, oh my god. I had so many thoughts after watching that Zeb scene. I was like, ooh, live action Rebels. It's all coming together. We saw Chopper and Rogue One. We're getting Sabine and Ahsoka. We're getting Hera and Ahsoka. We already have Ahsoka.
Ezra. We're getting Ezra and Ahsoka. Like
we're getting Ezra and Thrawn name drop and my god, like yeah.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Like it was a little bit of a coming down from a high, but it was a very just weird scene because like one, Elia Kane was in there, you know, and like it almost felt like Tuttle, Tim Meadows' character, was going to send people to Navarro until she walked in. Because she was like, you know, for all due respect, like Navarro's not part of the Republic. They should have joined the Republic if they wanted protection, but they're not part of it. We can't allocate resources. Yada 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 yada. And Colonel Tuttle,
Suspicious.
Yeah, it's like what we know what the end goal is. It's the First Order, right? But her thing, what is she doing? Like, what's her end goal? What's her end game? Like, what orders was she given? Like, was she given orders to keep people out of the Outer Rim? Which it seems like to me, because Navarro is part of the Outer Rim. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe that's her thing. She's like, oh, you know, by the way, so-and-so, they're not really part of the Republic, so I know I'm an ex-Imperial, but just from experience, maybe we shouldn't send people out there to help them because of resources and like blah, 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 blah. And I think that's her whole thing. She's there to prevent anyone from looking deeper into the start of the First Order or the remnants of...
I don't want people to suspect too early.
Yes. Because they've been hiding for a good decade now, if you think about it. It's it's like 9 years after everything, so...
And Hux's dad and Ray Sloan are still, like, running around and trying to form First Order, because we all know they did in the books and the comics.
Yep.
So they have to play, like, a big, big role in that, like... Hux's dad. I can't believe I'm bringing this up, but this is, like, important, I guess. Honestly, Ray Sloan showing up in live action would be badass, honestly.
Oh.
She's around.
She is.
Ray Sloan.
She is.
Like, if you look her up, she's running around, like, helping form the First Order. Like...
Oh, and I got my timing wrong. It's 9. This takes place 9 ABY, but it's still 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
The episode we're talking about right now.
Yeah, it's still like 5 years after all that stuff.
5 years.
So 5 years they've been running around hiding and doing things. The First Order. So we're still in this world they're trying to build back, which is still spooky. So I love how Teva, even though he couldn't get help from like his people, from his actual base, he couldn't get help from them. He decides to like look for Mando, and ask Mando for help, for help. And
R5.
I know.
Tracked him down because of R5. I was like, wait, who? And then I remembered, oh, R5.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
For real though, like.
And what's great is R5 technically was almost not, because R5 is a legacy character, but he was almost a throwaway character in respects of we only saw him once in episode 2, I think. That was the only that's the only time we saw him, and that was it. We never saw him again. So I almost forgot he was hanging out with the other Mandalorians in their cave area. I completely forgot he was a thing until Teva's like, oh yeah, an old friend from the rebellion, and he shows up. Woo! Like,
The fact that like R5 is like an old friend from the rebellion makes me think back to all the way in A New Hope when like Luke almost picked him to come with him to his home before R2.
I always disliked when my friends were like, "Oh, R5 is a Force-sensitive droid." He knew that Luke had to pick R2.
I remember that theory.
Oh, I hated how much people try to get behind that theory. It's like, no, that makes no sense. It's just, no, don't add that stuff to it. Like, why? Like, I love retconning as much as the next guy, but yo, come on, man. Like, come on. So yeah, what were your thoughts on Din's speech to the rest of the Mandalorians about rousing up people to go fight for Greef Karga and whatnot?
It reminded me of kind of like Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. Like, I don't know, the whole pirate thing kind of reminded me of like Captain Hook, Smee, and the rest of the crew versus you know, the Lost Boys. Like,
yep.
And Greef Karga's the Peter Pan. Actually, no, Din Djarin's the Peter Pan. More like, and like, I guess Greef Karga's like the...
It's funny you say Smee, because someone
Yes.
on Reddit pointed out, let me make sure I get the proper image, because I'm stalling right now. And it's like, someone on Reddit pointed out, and I'm like, holy shit, they're absolutely right. And
down to their color scheme, too.
yeah, like, there's Smee
Right
there.
on, I tweeted about this, too, if I could find a... There's like a side-by-side I tweeted about, too. And I was like, Space Me!
See, this is why I gotta pay attention more to Twitter sometimes. 'Cause it's like, you mention it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, I thought on Reddit. Not my good friend Millie, who, you know, lives for this shit more than I do.
Follow me on Twitter, guys.
Yes, guys, please follow Millie on Twitter. She does drop a lot of dope-ass gems half the time, or all the time.
Yeah, my Twitter has been a mix of a lot of things lately.
Ah, there it is.
Let me try to find...
It's... Hang on, let me go full screen.
Did you find it? Oh, no, I found it. Unless you found it, but I'll link it in... Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I should have grabbed an image
Look
of...
at the color scheme. It's the exact same.
It really is.
Down to the color.
So, just for people who can see at home, there's me, even though you can't see it because of the screen, so I apologize. There we go, a little bit better. And there's him. Come on. I mean, granted, it's owned by Disney, so, you know, like,
yes.
that's a thing. But yeah, like, we got Smee.
And Captain Hook.
Yeah, pretty much. He definitely basically is Captain Hook. The thing I did like the most about that speech is it still shows some of their culture of the Mandalorians, because no one can speak unless they're holding the armorer's hammer, right?
The talking stick.
The talking stick, yeah. Like, and the armorer seems to be the... I know we've always known she's been like the leader, but now we know she's the leader after this episode. And he gives a speech about, hey, listen, I know we fought him on Navarro, but he's a good guy. He's changed. He's given me a plot of land, which is from the first episode. Again, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Like, everything, all these little things are popping up. And Paz Vizsla, like, oh, I wish I could have caught like the text of what he says, but he's like, you're asking us to lay down our lives now for a man we fought and we saw so many die, and why should we? Because we're Mandalorians, it's what we do. And like, he's like, this man saved my son. I've had my disagreements with this man, and he saved my son. I will gladly fight by his side. I'm like, that's fucking dope. That's cool.
Valid. Mm-hmm.
And I like how, like, the complete 180 that Paz has had, because again, he saved his kid, and Paz hated Din for like a
Yep.
while.
I thought Paz was gonna hate Bo more than Din.
Right?
Because of his familial relationship with Clan Kreese. Like, thought he was gonna hate her. I mean, he still might, because we don't really see it.
True.
I guess he has respect now.
But you can't tell me when she showed up the first time with her helmet on, walking into that cave, you couldn't see like the hatred in Paz's visor, I guess. Like the way he was
Could
standing.
feel it.
Yeah, like he was. Ooh, but you know, she got in the bathing waters and all that good stuff, and yeah, so she's walks away. So there's a part here I want to bring up, and I brought up last time, and there's been a lot of, I don't know if you want to call them like neckbeat, like the incels or the not true fans of it or whatever, but a lot of comments I've seen are people getting upset that Bo-Katan led this attack, led this fight, and it wasn't Din. And they're like, oh, Din's the main character. They're trying to make him like the secondary character because Bo-Katan's leading it and blah, 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 blah.
The show is called The Mandalorian, not the Din Djarin and Grogu show. Like, doesn't specify which Mandalorian the show is about.
Like, the only, and I totally agree, the only reason why I can see where they're coming from, the only reason why, is because they do not know Bo-Katan's history in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them only know about Bo-Katan from here, from The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the fans never saw her lead the attack on Mandalore against Darth Maul. They never we watched that. They never saw Bo-Katan fight.
I never saw her in Rebels either.
They never saw her fight in Rebels. They never saw her fight like in the Clone Wars. And any time, like she fought every time Bo-Katan was in Clone Wars, she fought, and she was leading an army or doing something. So like, I can see where they're coming from because they do not know her history. What I don't understand is fans of this shit like us who watch Clone Wars and watch Rebels upset that Bo-Katan was leading the charge and not Din Djarin. It's like, you guys know she's a military leader. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they don't like it, but it's like, because they're, you know, I guess sexist. We can just say it. You can just say it. But like, come on, dudes, come on. She's badass. She's always been badass. She's been fighting her whole life. She has more experience with hand-to-hand combat than Din does. So, you know, like shite. But I digress. It was a dope scene, and like they're like, it's funny because we got this scene in the trailer too.
You did?
Of like them riding in her ship and just like parachuting down, which was such a dope. Oh my god, this whole battle was so fucking dope. Like it was a fight right when they got to Navarro, like until the bitter end. They're just like doing stuff, and I don't know, what were your thoughts on this scene on Navarro, the fight, the battle, the gun things, and all the stuff going on? Like,
It was intense. I honestly thought the pirates would win somehow, and like some of the Mandos would die because like, okay, from reports I've heard, apparently some of the pirates that show up in this show will also show up in Skeleton Crew, which actually kind of makes sense.
they show up in what?
If you think about it, Skeleton Crew
Huh.
somehow.
Okay,
But
well,
now I guess a lot of the pirates died, and maybe the one that escapes toward the end of the battle, like maybe will show up in that show.
yeah, I think he's gonna be the one that shows up. I thought we were gonna lose Paz, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Like
Him and maybe a few other background Mandos.
because he gave that rousing speech, and he's like, like Din Djarin's my boy. Let's go fight with him in Bo-Katan. Let's do this. And then he gets hit with a shot, and it's like, well, fuck. Like, he just came around. Don't take him away from us. Don't, like, don't pull another tech on us. Like, if everyone's like starting to like him.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like, no, don't do this. No. But no, like he lived, and the armorer does the armorer even have a blaster?
I don't remember.
We've seen her fight twice in this entire series.
Her hammer.
Right.
Yeah.
And the 2 times we've seen her fight have always been hand to hand. I don't think she has a blaster. I think she just
I don't remember her having a blaster, no.
right? I think she just wrecks people with like her hammer and like her tools. That's it.
Yeah.
Because she just like the dude's got like a massive blaster on the top of the castle, and she just rushes in and just like double fists everybody, whoops their asses. It's like, yeah, she doesn't need a fucking gun. But no, like it definitely was the action scene I've been waiting for in this season. Because I'll admit, this season has been a little lacking on the action, a little bit.
I think we got most of the trailer footage like this half of the season.
Yeah.
I think we're like only 3 episodes left, right?
Let me check.
I believe we're almost done with the season.
I think we are. I think we have 2. No, hang on. Let me double check.
Oh, we definitely have 3
We have
more.
we have 3. We have chapter 22, which is premiering tomorrow. Then 23 and 24.
Oh my God, it's premiering tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh my God, I have to watch that before work tomorrow.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
But no, it was like this season so far has been nothing but story building, which is fine. I love story. I love the world building. But there's just enough action that we needed, and I'm hoping we get like a little bit more. So now we're at the end of our episode, because that fight scene was a very long fight scene. That was at least 15 minutes of fights. It's up to
We
Bo.
should talk about Bo and the armor
Yes.
interaction
So
on
it's
Navarro.
so
That was really interesting.
And I can see this is another scene I'm pretty sure pissed off a lot of neckbeards, because like, why is Bo-Katan the chosen one? Like, whatever. But yeah, she won. So I was a little nervous in this scene because remember, we just said it. Paz Vizsla probably never liked Bo-Katan and her clan.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yo, the armor wants to speak to you.
And her and the armor have had differences, with Creed like different beliefs and whatnot and stuff. So I was really concerned. I was like, oh no,
They're going to jack her.
Armor's gonna have a villain monologue or something.
Right?
Or
Dude,
something.
right? Like, holy shit. Like, I thought the same thing. Like, I seriously thought when she said, remove your helmet. Do you respect my station? Remove your helmet. I thought she's like, all right, cool. Now you're no longer walking the way. Let's go at it. And she was just going to, like, kill Bo-Katan here in this scene. Yeah, like, dude.
I legit thought she was also gonna take it off to, like...
Yes, I thought that too.
Equals.
I was hoping for that
Guess
also.
Not yet.
Because we still don't know
One
who...
day we'll see Emily Swallow.
Yeah. And we still don't know who the armorer is. Like...
No.
At all.
That's really concerning, and I hope she's not a... If the theories are true, I've heard theories that she's like a follower of Maul because of the horns,
Right.
like, whatnot, like, and yeah,
I mean, she
really weird.
She could also... Well, no, she wouldn't have horns, would she?
I mean, in season 7, we saw like Mandalorians with like Maul's like...
No, I'm thinking about a female Zarback.
Not a female Zarback, but in season 7, what's her name? She was like in season 7. She was one of Maul's Mandalorians, I think.
Well, no, I was thinking that maybe she's just a female Zarback, but I don't think female Zarbacks have horns.
They don't.
Yeah. They're just Night Sisters. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
But yeah, I know the character you're talking about, and I think I totally agree.
Blanking on the character name. I'm trying to look up the name. Rookcast.
Ah, yep, there it is. Let me send me that link so I can put it down below in the description.
I will bring up her Wikipedia. Feel free to read it out loud to the folks at home. So.
All right, give me 2 seconds, friends, because I'm about to Rookcast. Yep. This is how everyone sees all the people I talk to in Discord. Okay, cool. Oh, that does look like Emily Swallow. All right, Rookcast was a human female Mandalorian warrior who led the Shadow Collective Super Commandos during the Clone Wars. After Maul, leader of the Shadow Collective, was imprisoned by the Sith on Stygian Prime, Cass and the Commando Gar Saxon freed Maul and brought him to the Shadow Collective base on Zanbar. They were tracked by the forces of the Confederacy of Independent Systems and in an ensuing battle forced to flee to Ord Mantell. Ooh, Ord Mantell. Ord Mantell shows up a lot in Star Wars. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Stupid Sid. Forced to flee to Ord Mantell. From there, they repelled a Separatist attack. Cass and Maul captured the droid army General Grievous in orbit, while Maul ground forces captured the Separatist leader Count Dooku. So, she's heavy in this. And again, this will be in the comments. This is not in the comments, but this will be in the description below. Like her.
Just take this theory with a grain of salt, but like a lot of people are speculating that the armor is Rookcast from the Clone Wars.
Case in point, because of here. That's her.
Yeah, look at the helmet. Look at the helmet.
Yup. So she very well could be, or she's just someone else from that.
She's not dead too, so.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Do you think the armorer chose Bo-Katan because she has walked both paths and that she's royalty, and that could go a long way? Or B,
who also walked both paths? Sabine, technically.
Oh, yeah, 'cause she was part of Death Watch for a while, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
Ooh. So, okay, so that doesn't bring my next point. It's like, we do this all the time, Millie. So, do you think she chose Bo-Katan because she walks both paths or because she saw a mythosaur? And she knows she saw the mythosaur and she believes she sees the mythosaur?
Maybe? Maybe it's both? Maybe the mythosaur thing just further proves, I guess?
Because I'm reading this right from Wikipedia. The armor says that it is not enough for only a few to walk the way, and that's all Mandalorians must walk it together. Kryze expresses agreement. She notes Kryze's claim of seeing a mythosaur and states it to be a sign of a new age of Mandalore. The armor tells Kryze that Mandalore must come together and that Kryze is the one who can unite the Mandalorians.
Oh, that's 1000%. Like,
she saw the mythosaur.
Her seeing. Yeah.
So, is the first place she goes to House Wren?
She has to, because she knows Sabine really well. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think in the season finale of Rebels flash forward, I should say. Does that take place before or after? Because it has to take place after, right? Because in the season finale of Rebels, Ahsoka is about to go on this mission to find Thrawn and Ezra.
So do we?
And in The Mandalorian, we see Ahsoka trying to find clues on where Thrawn is.
Right. So the way it was painted in Rebels is that this happened sometime after
Mandalorian.
Before Mandalorian, but sometime after the fall of the Empire. They never really specified.
But they
when.
looked much, much older though, like a little bit older because
Honestly,
of the hair.
it's
And if you look at like kid of Hera too, like Jason Sandula,
he is
like,
older.
he grew. He is
Yeah,
older.
he's like 5 or 6 or something.
So this is like 5 or 6.
Yeah. So, yeah, honestly, like, I don't know, because keep in mind, when Rebels ended, they probably didn't even have the Mandalorian in mind when Rebels was over. Like, nowhere, it was even a forethought, so.
And this was like 2018, like a year after a year before Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. And for all intents and purposes, like, the Ahsoka series could be taking place after that, before season 1 of Mando or season 2 of Mando. We don't know.
We are going to see that mural in live action.
We are.
The Ahsoka series. It's the same one too, so it seems like Sabine looks the same as she did in the vlog.
It does.
That leaked photo I've seen.
I think when the first.
To see more. God, I need to see an Ahsoka trailer this weekend, please. Celebration, give it to us. Like, please don't let it be just attendees, because we got leaked footage because of that, and we couldn't get it officially online. So I hope we get it officially online this weekend.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we possibly might see Sabine in the next episode of The Mandalorian. Because follow my timeline really quick. So Bo-Katan is going to go out and reunite the other Mandalorians. Probably the first stop she's going to make is House Ren, right? Reason why
Sabine will be like, no. I'll probably say no because she's probably searching for Ezra with Ahsoka.
Maybe, or maybe she's not yet. Who knows? We're not sure about that yet, but in the last season of Clone Wars, Sabine's mom was like Bo-Katan's right hand.
Ursa? Oh, yeah.
Right? She was there. She was with her, like, on the Siege of Mandalore. She was there. So, that's going to be
we could see her. Oh, God. Ursa running live action would be badass.
Right? That's going to be the first person she's going to go see after all this shit. So, maybe we meet live action Sabine Wren tomorrow. And then for Celebration, we finally get a fucking trailer for Ahsoka that we get to see live action. See what I mean? Like, it makes...
Yeah. Introduce Sabine before the trailer. That's genius. I like that idea. I hope Dave Filoni listens last minute and... Just kidding. The episode's probably already done. We're, like, insane, but... Okay, we are pretty good at predicting stuff.
We are.
Ridiculous. Like, I freaking called Rebels references in this show, and we got it twice. So if we get it a third time's a charm, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. So, I'm assuming. I mean, we're going a bit far off the rails, but I'm assuming we might see Sabine tomorrow. I'm guessing, or
House Ren in general,
or you know, tomorrow or today, whenever you guys watch this episode. So our buddy cop, Captain Teva, because now we go with Captain Teva flying back again. I got nervous. He was gonna get our good cop. I got really nervous. He was gonna get ambushed because he's by himself. Pulls up to this ship. We obviously know it's a transport. And they find Beskar, and he found like a bunch of bodies. No.
Dude, yeah.
And he finds Beskar on the wall. Yeah.
Who? Okay, we need to speculate right now because I feel like this will get answered next episode.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Jaden's gonna like be involved or something because he was like directly involved with that.
With capturing Grand Moff Gideon. Like,
I've never been
Well, here's the other thing, though. We know not all the Mandalorians are united in this war, in this world.
Nope.
So...
Wait. There's also a Lycan.
And we don't know how
Very suspicious.
And we don't even know how Moff Gideon got the Darksaber in the first place.
No.
That was never discussed. That was never, like...
Bo-Katan was the last person that had it before Gideon stole it.
Yes. So how the fuck did he get it? And does that technically mean he ruled Mandalore? So what Mandalorians are loyal... There's going to be Mandalorians that are loyal to him.
I mean, there were...
I wonder if your feelings on this matter are clear, Lord Vader.
Maul?
But Maul's gone.
Maul's gone, but...
Who were the Mandalorians? I don't remember.
Hold on.
I don't remember off the top of my head. We'll look it up really quick.
Shadow Collective. Hold on. Who are... Shadow Collective, okay? Shadow Collective.
Imperial Super Commando? No.
Shadow Collective was a large criminal alliance and rival Sith Order founded during the Clone Wars by Rogue Maul. Partially founded at the behest of Mother Talzin, Maul aimed to threaten the plans of the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Sidious, as well to compete with him for galactic power. Among its goals, it sought to defeat both the Confederacy of Independent Systems and the Galactic Republic. During the war, Maul rallied the forces of the Death Watch, Black Sun, the Pike Syndicate, the Hutt Clan, and the Night Brothers to form a considerable base of power. Founders: Mother Talzin, Sith Lord Maul, Savage Opress, and Mandalore Pre-Vizsla.
And
Pre-Vizsla.
Wasn't Vizsla... No, it was Saxon. Because... Okay, in Rebels, there's an episode of Rebels where we had Mandalorians that were loyal to the Empire. And they were called... here it is. The Imperial Super Commandos. They were Mandalorian warriors loyal to the Galactic Empire whose masterful combat skills were eclipsed only by their ruthlessness. They were led by Gar Saxon, the Imperial Viceroy of Mandalore. Under the leadership of Saxon, the Imperial Super Commandos acted as elite enforcers of the Empire, carrying out high-stakes missions including ambushing and wiping out the Mandalorian protectors. So... Gar Saxon goes from working with working in the Shadow Collective with Maul, and Bo-Katan basically liberates.
Supposed to be Death Watch.
No, but that's what Din Djarin and them are. They're the Children of the Watch.
Yeah.
It's got to be the what's left of the Imperial the Super Commandos.
Maybe. Has to be. I mean...
Yeah, from what it's let me no. Hang on. Because I have to go over your face really quick.
God, we don't know anything about Mandalorian lore, so we're looking over.
So these are them from Rebels.
There they are.
Those are the Imperial Super Commandos, and they were all Mandalorians. And the guy in red, that's Gar Saxon. So they are a thing that was loyal to the Empire. Here's Gar Saxon again. So if it's going to be anybody, it's going to be them that freed Moff Gideon.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because, how else would he get his hands on the Darksaber? It had to be through fighting a Mandalorian. And no one really challenged him for it. That's the only thing I can think of. It's them. So, it's not a character that, unless it's Paz Vizsla somehow, trying to, pull a bait and switch on everybody.
Pull a mole, I guess.
Or maybe it was this group of Mandalorians and they're going to execute Moff Gideon on their own because Mandalorian law. But story-wise, I don't think that tracks too well. But those are my thoughts on who could have taken Moff Gideon. The Imperial Commandos. I'm sorry, the Imperial Super Commandos. How about you? Like, who do you think could have
Oh my god.
possibly?
Beskar though, like Beskar? The hell would they get Beskar?
Who got the spear? Where did Mando get the spear? Where did Din get the spear from? I don't remember who.
From the
What?
follower of Tarkin.
Oh no, he got the spear from what's her face from
Yeah, from season 2.
from when Ahsoka fought the Magistrate or whatever her name was. Okay, yeah.
Magistrate. Yeah. Hold on. No, not Magistrate. Shoot. Thrawn. Followers. God, I'm terrible at names. Shoot. Maybe it's her, actually.
Maybe.
Maybe Thrawn's involved. Shoot, what's... The name is on the tip of my tongue. It's there, but I can't seem to...
It's episode 5, season 2.
Oh god, I'm googling this. I don't...
Mandalorian Chapter 13.
Wikipedia and find the cast list for that. She had a Beskar spear.
She did. Morgan Elspeth, Diana Lee Inosanto.
There we go.
Yep.
And she's still alive, so...
She is.
And maybe she's the one that freed him.
Right, because Ahsoka asked her that episode, where is your master? Where is Thrawn? So she is loyal to the Empire to... I mean, she's an Imperial Warlord. Let's just call it what it is. That's basically what she is. But let me look on Wikipedia really quick to really... like...
She's definitely still alive, because I remember her being, like, defeated, but not killed.
Oh, no. Yeah, she's definitely alive. I want to see, like, what her... if she was ever expanded upon, like, if someone expanded upon her in Wikipedia.
Don't think she ever was. Morgan Elspeth.
I don't think so either.
I hope we see more of her, because I feel like this season would be a perfect introduction.
Ahsoka Tano. Morgan Elspeth. Okay. Not much about her yet. Morgan Elspeth was a human female who was instrumental in the construction of the Imperial Navy during the reign of the Galactic Empire. By around 9 ABY, she served as a magistrate of Colodan on the planet Corvus. Elsbeth was in the possession of a spear made of pure Beskar and offered it as payment to the Mandalorian Din Djarin if he killed the former Jedi Ahsoka Tano. At the time, her army wore stylized versions of a Chimera, the personal symbol of her patron, Grand Admiral Thrawn, and the emblem of the 7th Fleet. However, Din Djarin and Tano banded together and ended up defeating Elsbeth and her forces. Upon besting the magistrate in combat, Tano demanded Elsbeth to reveal the location of her master, Thrawn. So, she was part of the Empire. She built the Navy, and after the Empire fell apart, she just took over his fucking planet. So, and we've seen her only once in season 2. She had a Beskar spear, which means they have Beskar. If Thrawn is in here, he has Beskar. Like, it has to... It
might be Thrawn. That's the case.
Yes, we are finally, even though we've been saying it for every single fucking show, it's finally Thrawn.
They teased her with... No, they teased it. They teased Thrawn and Ezra with the Purgles. You see Zeb.
That's true. You're right.
Come on, guys. Show us Ezra, please. And Sabine. We only need Ezra, Sabine, Hera, and Thrawn. And that's it.
Also,
the Rebels crew. Kanan does not count because unfortunately he's dead.
yeah.
Sadly.
And there was Beskar in the hull of the ship, but I mean, it was hard to tell because it was a piece of it. It didn't really look like Mandalorian armor, right?
No. No. Mm-mm.
So
I was confused what it was when I was like, what is that?
So
Like-
it's probably not even a. So see, now this is gonna cause some shit because freaking they find Beskar. So
Now they think the Mandalorians did it.
right, so that means our boy,
I don't think.
like, that means Teva's gonna go back to them, or go to freaking like, oh my god, this is gonna start some shit. He's gonna go to Navarro. Yeah, he's gonna go to Navarro and start shit with the Mandalorians that are they're living there now. Like,
Because he knows where they are now.
and he's gonna bring the fucking like New Republic there to figure out like, and it's gonna cause more shit. Like, this is gonna get bad really quick.
Oh my god, and they just formed an alliance too.
Yes.
Navarro.
Yes.
Which is timing.
This is gonna get really. Next episode is one of two things. We're gonna see Sabine, or at least House of Ren, or House Ren, or the Republic's gonna show up. The New Republic's gonna show up to Navarro, demanding where Gideon is, and they're gonna be like, "We ain't got him."
Because we have what, like 3 more episodes left. So like,
Yeah.
what could these last 3 episodes be about? Like, it has to build up to the Ahsoka series, right? So maybe they will build up like, oh, Thrawn is definitely responsible for all this.
Maybe. I don't know.
Morgan Elsbeth.
That's other than the elite, the Imperial Commando guys. Those guys are like Mandalorians, Imperial Super Commandos. She's the only other person that makes sense, or at least her band or troop is the only other person that makes sense. Because she had the spear of Beskar. Like, that's kind of a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Closing thoughts on this episode?
Oh boy, I'm not ready for tomorrow's episode. No, we kind of predicted what we might see.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing Mandalorian episodes, they will definitely catch us off guard and surprise us. So we will see what surprises for us tomorrow.
What time are you
looking forward to that?
going into work tomorrow, if you don't mind me asking?
3 p.m.
So
So I have the entire morning to watch Mando
freak the fuck out depending on what happens tomorrow.
I know. And I'm going to be thinking about it all day at work.
Jeez.
So at least I won't be spoiled right away in the morning.
That's true. Like, guys, seriously,
Watch it right away.
if you made it this far, follow Millie on her Instagram. It's right there. Me Halprin. Me_Halprin.
That's my Twitter.
Twitter.
My Twitter handle.
Like, follow.
Fair warning, I do tweet spoilers day of, but I do like blur out the images so you don't see it. But
Yeah, you do. Yeah, follow Millie. She does have some real. I barely post nowadays on Twitter, but like, Millie posts a lot. She posts some gems. Like, I'm like eager to see how she's gonna freak out tomorrow and the shit she's gonna post. It's gonna be kind of hilarious.
My God. God, I've predicted so many things correctly so far, and I don't know how I don't know how I feel about that. I hope I'm right about Sabine and
Me too.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Me too.
I do believe the Morgan Elsbeth theory and the Thrawn by extension.
Yeah, I think that.
Now, me reaching saying Ray Sloan and Hux's dad will show up somehow, and I hear Hux's last name, I'm like, oh my god, it's Hux's dad. Because they are around this time. Like, if you just look up their characters on Wikipedia, you'll like, look, if you want to do that right now, if you want, like, don't believe me.
No, I believe you. I believe you 100%. They are running around right now in this time frame. Just, it's a stretch, It's not a bad. It's a stretch, but it's within reach.
Rendell Hooks, yeah.
It's within reach.
He doesn't die till 30 ABY, so we have plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, spoiler alert, he dies 30 ABY.
On Exegol, I think, right?
No.
No?
It doesn't specify where he died. Some 4 years before the Battle of Yavin, he was a commandant of the Arcanist Academy. Hux created the Commandment's Cadets, a secret society within his academy.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm just gonna skip to the Empire, join the Shadow. After the Battle of Endor, Arcanus was assigned by the newly founded New Republic, the successor to the Rebel Alliance. Danger of being lost, however, Fleet Admiral Gallus Rax, intent on rebuilding the Empire, ordered his de facto subordinate, Grand Admiral Ray Sloan, to rescue the commandment from the invaded planet. Rax planned to create a Shadow Council to replace the Imperial Ruling Council and to facilitate the resurgence of the Empire. Sloan then tasked bounty hunter Mercurial Swift to ensure Hux and his son made it off to Arcanus safely, which he did. That is just a paragraph. But yeah, he is around. So,
Like,
crossing my fingers we see him somehow. And Ray Sloan.
it's
And maybe Baby Hux. I don't know. He's a young child.
even General Hux is gone. With that said, friends, I think that about wraps it up. We've covered pretty much everything this episode had to offer, including this beautiful specimen that you see on screen right now, like Mr.
And I was kind of right about Tarkin showing up in Bad Batch, and here we are.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
I did mention the Rogue One parallel, so me mentioning Hux's dad, I mean, he might just randomly show up as a cameo like Tarkin did. Well, not Tarkin. Well, or
from Andor. What's his name?
Krennic.
Krennic. Oh yeah, Krennic. Yep.
I mixed up names. Yeah.
With that, my friends, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you for tuning in, hanging out with us, and watching our podcast. If you like it, please like and subscribe and say hello in the comments below. Let us know what you like, what you didn't like. Let us know what you think of our theories. If you think we are correct, if we're able to watch this before the next episode of Mandalorian. I know our schedule has been kind of weird, but we're gonna go back to our Monday posting schedule next week.
Yes, thankfully we're done with 2 Star Wars shows at once every week.
Yes.
So thank God we're done with that.
It was a lot, my friends. It was a lot.
Although next episode we'll probably discuss celebration news that have dropped.
Yes. Next episode
We're going to get a lot of information.
Next episode might be very celebration heavy.
Yes, I feel like we might do a separate episode on that.
I really wish we could live react to stuff, but we'll be sleeping when things drop.
Yeah,
but
fortunately, and I'll be at work, so we'll figure it out. We'll do like a Sparks Notes version, I guess, of news that have dropped. Celebration. We'll have to keep a list updated as the weekend goes on.
Yeah. I'll make like some new notes or something, or we'll make new notes and we'll just add to it as the days go on.
I thought that'd be a good idea.
With that, friends, follow us on our socials. Follow us on Twitter at Ilum Radio. Follow us on Instagram at Ilum Radio. Follow us on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter. TikTok for now at Ilum Radio until they shut it down. And if there's a specific topic, Star Wars related topic you want us to talk about, send us an email or fan mail to ilumradiopodcast@gmail.com. Again, remember, always like, subscribe, and comment. Really helps us out. if you want to find us on our socials. Millie, where can they find you?
Like I said before, you can find me on Twitter at me_Halprin and Instagram at Millie_Halprin.
If you guys want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at The Bearded Menace, as it says down below. You can find me on Instagram at Dave the Bearded Menace. You can also find me on TikTok at Dave the Bearded Menace. I don't post as much as I used to, but I'll get back to it. And if you want to hang out with me during a live stream and Millie every now and then causing havoc in chat, you can find us on twitch.tv/Dave the Bearded Menace. I generally, again, that's twitch.tv/Dave the Bearded Menace. I generally am live Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern until about 11 or midnight. Right now, my streaming schedule is very wonky because I'm still, as you can see, getting my office set up because it's kind of messy in here. Anywho, friends, that's it for us. As always, be easy, stay frosty, and may the Force be with you. Peace.